I'm late actually, and I'm live. Howdy dowdy, folks, and welcome to the Royal King Monthly Reality TV Recap. Joining me, I know I'm speaking from behind the what's it called, child? Behind the graphic, but joining me for today's call is a very special guest, one of my oldest friends, the Alexander Greer 12. Hello.
Hello, thank you
Um,
so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to get into it. I hope that people join on time. I always tell people to make sure that they set the alarm. Oh, I be sounding like one of them YouTube people. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and turn your
Comment.
notification bell on.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully
So
they
that
see
you
it
can
when
get
it
the
comes
news.
on. Exactly. But let me tell some of the girls when I'm live. So if you can pop up out. But anyway, without further ado, let's get it going because we got a lot to discuss. I ain't got nothing but time, but let's get into it. So, the
And I
royal
got another
chicken in pop
one.
culture. OMG, I should have grabbed something while I'm over here in this lounge.
You should have. You're
But
literally in the lounge. Yeah.
exactly, for free. And so, life updates. Howdy, folks. I am traveling today, and so I'm going to celebrate the one and only lovely Sammy. Will be traveling to Mexico, and so
Mhm.
I'm going to be the first one there, clearly. You got to get what you got to get with the deals you can get. And so if it's a red eye base, it's a red eye, huh? But I'll be seeing everyone. Will be landing Thursday. And so the reason why for folks who are active listeners, our friends, all of y'all are my friends for the most part. The reason why I didn't do one for last month for June is because I was in Brazil. And so I wanted to I want to rush. Like I want it to be fun. I want it to be easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Like you know what I mean. And so
Right.
adapting the format a little bit, adding some guests, so I'm not just talking physically by myself. Um, and yeah, um, work has been good. My
Am I the
boss is
first
back.
one? Oh, I'm sorry.
Second, you're the second. We have Michaela and May for
Right.
my
Right.
Mormon wives, and so shout out to Michaela. If you I didn't send it to. Oh, child. But shout out to my girl Michaela. I just, I like to send stuff to the group chats, but sometimes when you don't have a group chat, you gotta like send personally, and like it's just always the worst for me. Um,
Understandable.
and you already know this too. Anywho, but yeah, Michaela was the first to talk about the Mormon wives. We didn't get a chance to really get into it, and I wanted to do like a little sub series talking about just Mormon culture and like the wives of just going into Salt Lake City, to, Secret Life of Mormon Wives, and like all the other documentaries that I don't watch. But once again, who has time? But stay tuned because I'm looking at Brittany, Jayla, and Michaela to be up with me talking about that. But yeah, that's my life update. What am I watching outside of reality TV? So I've been really in like a Charmed kick, and I've been watching the classic. Uh, Rest in peace, Shannon Doherty. Rest in peace, Julia McMahon.
The
Um,
dead?
and like, when I tell you, like, I had to, like, I remember Montre came to the house, um, and she's like, "What you doing?" I'm over here. Just finished the episode of Charmed. They done got rid of Prue. Devastated, majorly devastated. And I think her anniversary just came up. I think her and Julian. So Prue
Because
passed. So
Julian
Shannon.
just died.
Yes, he did. So Shannon passed last year in this month, and Julian just passed a few weeks ago. And so I was on the episodes where, like, Cole. Cole was a big one, and they
Girl,
tried to get
what
rid of
our
him. He was
preacher
still
say,
there.
messing with some spirits. Okay.
Well, and so I watched the episode like I when he passed, like I was like 3 episodes away from when he got vanquished. And so after he got vanquished, I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and switch it up. But I still want to be in the Charm universe. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
what about the good old like reboot? because I watched it when it was on CW and I watched it live and it was like okay, but in rewatching it, I get why the people. I think I was just a fan, and so that like showered my own perception and like my own like whatever. But yeah, girl, like it wasn't that it was bad. The actors were fine. The plots were okay. It was a lot of like the social justice writing. It was like
Because what time did it come out again?
had to be 2020. Let me see.
And yeah, that's that. Yeah, post-Trump America, or like
Oh yeah, it was for sure. Oh,
yeah,
2018. And it was just extremely like I feel like I was back in grad school. Like it was just like they were just very like, like, oh, we're in study and like, oh my gosh, like how dare you? You know what I mean? And like the thing is
yeah,
they're not wrong, but it wasn't organic or natural to me because no one talks
yeah,
like that for real.
yeah. How
Um
many seasons were they on?
4.
Okay, so they had a cute little run.
They had a cute run and so like, shout out to the girls. Like I wish that they would have had more success.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the time for them. But what I loved about it is that it built on the original Charmed lore, and so it was like
Mm.
it was like oh, like anyone can be a charmed one, so to speak. Like there's various versions of the charmed ones, and so I really appreciated that. That was very tea for me. And then last but not least, what I've really been into and binged it, and I need to go back to is Hunting Wives on Netflix. If you have not watched 100%
Now, what is
Recommend,
that?
so if you Southern, if you Texas, it's a mix for me of like Real Housewives of Dallas and like
Okay.
a little bit of like How to Get Away with Murder. It's exactly. It's very like what can I say without giving too much of it away? Like it has that like
It's
what
okay
that
because I'm gonna
intrigue
Google
that
it.
yeah it has that it's like a thriller ish type of like a mystery, and so you're trying to figure out like someone dies. I'll just go out
Wait,
and
so
say
this
that
is not a reality show?
it's not a reality show. No,
Why did I think it was?
a lot of people was like because it's called Hunting Wives and like there's just this era of wives TV shows and everyone's like oh it's another like but no like but it's I love it because like I feel like if you're a Texan or if you're Southern and true Southern you will appreciate it. Granted,
Okay.
unfortunately the girls was Republican but like they're like
Of
East
course they
Texas,
were.
like where they gonna be
Yeah.
in East Texas. I'm from Beaumont, child. Like Beaumont's Republican, and so like let's be serious. But
Is it really? I thought there was a lot of y'all there.
yeah, so here's the thing: the demographic of Beaumont is primarily folks of color. However, Beaumont is like the city. Like Beaumont is like the girls of the Southeast Texas Golden Triangle sort of area, and so we
Uh-huh.
have a lot of outskirts. And so outskirts, it's segregated, and so the white folks live in the outside, but they still
Mm,
work and run Beaumont. And so Beaumont is
mm,
still very, very like Republican, very like
got you.
But there are quite a few black folks, quite a few Latino. That's really the biggest demographic. We have a few other races there and there, but it's black and brown. Um, but yeah. And so Hunting Wives, really good show, really good cast. Um, would love maybe I need to like get some friends to watch it and like maybe do like a cute like talk about it, but maybe maybe anyway, well, before we switch on to actually doing the which was this is the first time I did this without a script, so let's hope I don't ramble too much. Um,
I think you're doing great.
without thank you.
Hmm.
Without moving, well, this is about me, so I got this part. This is the recap, so I'd be like, But before, since we do have a guest, Miles, like, what is a cute life update you'd like to share with the girls, and like, what are some TV shows that you're watching outside of the reality TV world?
Oh wow. I feel like ever since Love Island stopped, my life has stopped.
So I feel
So
the
like
same
I
brother.
haven't like resumed any like new show yet because I'm still like obviously processing the other season. So I haven't really been watching anything. I really don't. Yeah, I really haven't been watching anything. But I mean, life wise, I'm doing great. I'm fine. Um, things are. It's the summertime. I was just home for a little bit in Texas. Spent some time with some family, some friends. And so that was really good. And then I'm going back home to Memphis next week to stay with my grandmother, my grandparents, my grandmother. And then also seeing the rest of my elders, just like taking people around the city and shit like that. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good, and the Lexapro is really hitting. So, I
OMG,
have
my
no
psychiatrist
complaints.
never replied back to me. I'm trying to get back medicated too.
I'm trying to get.
Y'all, it's been a while. The girls that know, and honestly, praise the Lord that I've been living the way I've been living, just fine. But
Yo,
anyway,
I will say it differently, but that's a conversation for another day.
and so and on that note, we about to switch on topics to the, the share to the Facebook child. I got to aunt somewhere around here watching it, but on to so y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into the Housewives first. So we're gonna talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta first, of course.
Did you
Housewives of
intentionally match them?
what you mean?
They're wearing yellow, you're wearing yellow. Did you intentionally do that?
Yellow's my favorite. Ooh, I forgot I'm screaming up here in this lounge. Yellow's my
Yeah.
favorite color, and so I'm always gonna wear yellow.
It looks good on you for sure.
Thank you, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and take some. After we done with this, I'm gonna go ahead in the restroom and start taking some pictures and eating up on my food, drinking some champagne
Hmm.
while I wait for my flight. Like I said, I got time.
Get you a
Um,
drink. Yeah.
exactly. But no, unfortunately, I'm not on the cast. But honestly, so I will say what this is about Sweet 16 before I get into the reunion. And like most of the episodes happen in June. Not gonna get to that. Just gonna talk about the reunion and season overall.
Hmm.
Season 16 was really very refreshing to see them come back. It was very nice to see the girls like I don't know, for lack of a better term, like hmm, refreshed.
Hmm.
Refreshed. The girls are refreshed. I hate that we lost Kenya Moore after episode 4 because
Oh
I
yeah,
think
she
that there
said she's
was
not
some
coming back.
gaps, and she said she's not coming back, and I'm devastated by that. There was some gaps missing without her, and I think when you have such a powerhouse like Portia, you need someone else who can like sort of balance her out. It's like kind of like
Hmm.
you can't let the kids run the yard. Like you got to have somebody who gonna check them. And it's like, because everybody knew. You got Phaedra and Portia. Phaedra came at the tail end in the last 3 episodes because she's best friends with Portia. You got Cynthia, who's a friend role. And so, although Cynthia is the elder of like the group because she's been on since season 3 or 4, I believe it was 3. Um, oh, Phaedra too. But you have Cynthia who's been on so long. It's like you would expect them, but like there's a loyalty when it goes to like the veterans. Um, and then the newbies try to have that loyalty. The newbies try to have sort of like that what's it called, that alliance. It fell flat. So long story short, the reunion episode, to be honest, could have been an episode and a half. It could have been a special. It didn't have to be 3 parts. I think yes, Atlanta was the grand supreme juiciest peach at Bravo. But when you can't really deliver, like I think it should be time to like call it in. But maybe because they owe the people more money. Because like some people when they sign their contracts, they're like, "Oh, I'm getting this for this many episodes," and like that's how they have to shake it out. But we can't keep doing this 3 year or this 3 part reunion when it's not necessary. We got a breakdown of Porsha and Shamea's friendship. Shamea started off very strong. She's wealthy. She's beautiful. She's a mother. She's a wife. Like she is sort of like what we want to see in the affluency of Atlanta, and she brought money back to Atlanta. However, her issues with Portia
Period.
are so deep seated, and like it's like, and I always think about this, Miles. Like if we were to be on the show, and granted, we done lost quite a few friends from the friend group, and like I think like if we would have been on the show, like how would that translate? But I do think like out of the trio that still talks and communicates the most, me, you, and Lauren, like I do think that we are like the most level headed, or y'all two are for sure, but like we are the most like level headed of the bunch of the group. And so I think that like the cooler heads did prevail, and like the people who you talk to day to day, I talk to everyone for the most part except for one. um but like I I'm very curious on like if we were on a show like this, how would they try to pick and poke at like our like deepest sort of like insecurities with one another, or like our like
Oh, I couldn't take it.
flaws. I don't
For
know,
how
girl.
they would do it, but they for sure would do it. I mean, that's the thing, but I don't know how.
But the thing is, I think that you are such a cool head and you're so poised. Like I think you gonna have them fooled because they're not gonna get what they're getting out of you.
Oh my God, I don't know what they would get, child.
But yeah, and so Shamia essentially was talking about when she was a friend of the show, like just little things like Portia didn't really want her on the show, or what like Portia didn't really want her on the show, or like
Were these the two that were beefing in the parking lot? I saw a clip.
that was Britt Edie. Neither of them are pictured here. Britt Edie and
Got
Kendall.
you.
And so Britt
Got you.
Edie, oh, big bombshell. Britt Edie decided not to show up to the reunion after she caused
Oh.
all this drama, got Kenya kicked off and fired, which I don't think she did it by herself, but she elevated and escalated. She played the part. She was like, I just, mind you, for it to allegedly not even be her pictures in the first place. So Kenya she was going around with her little thing, talking about who is this hoe, a picture of, Britt Edie doing the do, what they say, singing on the mic. And comes to find out it was never her. She never saw the pictures because she wasn't there. But I'm like, so you telling me all this whole time, y'all had us thinking it was that and it was going to get resolved at the reunion and it didn't. Anyway, I spent a little bit too much time on Atlanta. Main storyline was Portia versus Shamea. Don't want to see that. Even their moms were best friends, and their moms had beef.
Oh my God.
Interesting,
It's just running the
weird.
family.
Look, don't bring that to the show. Angela, the Angela MVP of the season. She wasn't everyone's favorite at the very beginning, but she definitely warmed up to everyone. And everyone's like she gives that sort of OG veteran sort of feel. Like she's just so unapologetically herself and just extremely authentic, extremely sort of like, yeah, this is me. I'm going through problems. My homes that I bought are gonna get foreclosed. I spent a lot of money. My husband did cheat in the past. Like honestly, I don't even know how people can handle that too. Like I'd be too embarrassed to be on somebody's show talking about how my husband cheated on me. And like, yeah, that's what happened. And I just hear the like I'm just And then you got Kelly and Drew. Drew has been on for the last few seasons. Kelly really coming in, one of Shamia's besties now. Cool, fun. I think Kelly started off as a fan favorite at the beginning and she fizzled out as well. A lot of girls said that she tried to attach her star to Britt Edie, and then like when she saw Britt Edie start to click down, she moved away, got with Shamia. A lot of drama, but I think it's good makings of another season. I would like to see a little bit of a cast shake up as far as like adding in somebody who, like I say, can check Portia. And so it's rumored that Nene might be one of the people. Let's hope. We'll see. Um, Getting on to Real Housewives of Miami. Not gonna spend too much time on this, but they're back for the girls who really are in it with Housewives verse. Real Housewives of Miami is one of the top tier shows to watch. Like I talked about how Atlanta, was fun. This is that. Real Housewives of Miami stay working consistently, and all I can do is applaud them. I think what I love about them, Miles and audience, is that they don't really give a fuck about that the cameras are there. Like they're just going to live their life. They're going to say the problematic things that they want to say. They're going, and it's not like too problematic to the sense of like, all right, we're gonna have to cancel them. But it's just like, wait, girl, like that's so like, you don't say that to nobody. Didn't this girl tell you stop running around telling people she had cancer? Why are you still doing it on camera? And it's just like, it's Larsa. What did you expect? Um, I would
What careful.
say I'm sad that Dr. Nicole's no longer on the show, but I know she pops up on tonight's episode actually, and so I'm excited to like watch that. Probably when I come back from Mexico, I was just seeing her back in the mix. She was wealthy. She was a doctor. Girl, why Larsa Pippen gonna say tell her Miles on one of the reunions I think 2 years ago? Like, girl, you don't
No,
even
who
have
is
a
Larsa
job.
Pimpin?
Larsa Pippen, she's Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, and Scottie is
Okay.
of the the Chicago Bulls for the dynasty or whatever. Played with Michael Jordan. And so Larsa Pippen gonna have the nerve to tell this doctor who's an anesthesiologist, you don't even have a real job. You put people to sleep. Like, come back to me when you really are doing something. Mind you, Larsa takes pictures of her feet and OnlyFans. Girl, what? This is why I love
Okay.
the show. It's very real. So I Salt Lake City coded only with a Latin spice. And so Shout out to my girls. Julia, I hate that her and Adriana are at odds. I hate that her and OMG, VK. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Um, I hate that Julia and Guerdy are beefing at the wedding. They should have been beefing at that wedding and didn't bring her to the club. Julia threw some water at Guerdy.
Uh, ain't
It's
nothing
a
like
lot
the
I can say
crying
about
ass.
this. It's a lot I can say about this, but I'll save it for maybe next month when we really get into sort of like Housewives of Miami. I know that they've been getting some critique of like it feels like it's just one long season because it's like kind of like very similar esque of the same things, but like I think that's what make them work. They all go after each other. Like that's the makings of the show. It's real. It's authentic. Like I feel like yeah, I feel like these are a good sort of pink print blueprint for the girls to follow along. Next, I want to get into Real Housewives of Orange County, one of my favorite franchises, the oldest franchise, the original Housewives. Um, let's get into it. Let's talk about it just a little bit though. So this season is truly everyone versus Katie, and so folks who are like, "Who's Katie?" Whatever. So all of these white women versus this Asian woman is what it is. And do I
Not
think it's
anti,
race
not
based?
Asian
No,
hate.
I don't think it's race based. I think it's one, Katie don't have the money that they got. Two,
Okay.
I think she took a shot at the champ. And the champ is one of my favorite housewives who Miss Brunette standing up, arm on the side, the Heather Dubrow. Like I am a major Heather Dubrow fan. Like I went to the GLAAD Awards this year with my company and we sat right next to her. And when I say I wanted to fan out, but like since working in entertainment, I don't really do that. Not that I ever did it before either, but it's like when I would think or like, oh hey, let's take a picture. OMG, the birthday daddy.
Mhm.
Hi. When I would think to say, can we take a picture? Can I hug on you? Can I whatever, whatever? I don't do that no more because I don't want to embarrass my company girl and look like we don't know how to work with people of whatever, whatever. But I love Heather Dubrow so much. Like Heather Dubrow, Nene Leakes, Karen Huger, Bethany Frankel, Sheree Whitfield, like those are like my favorite housewives. Like they really are those girls. Anyway, Katie went for Heather and said that Heather and her husband was staging paparazzi pictures at Disney, and not Karen and Nene for sure. They said that they were staging paparazzi photos, and so they were beefed up essentially, and was like, "Girl, how dare you? We never called a paparazzi a day in our lives. We've been on this show for 15 years." Da, 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 da. Like the girls get
Okay.
banned for that, but the
They
people
for
do
real?
call the paparazzi. I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, my thing is, if you want the buzz, you want the buzz, and like nowadays, you really don't got to do too much for it. All you gotta do is say, "Yeah, I'm out," and the girls be out there with you. But anyway, so Heather is beefing with Katie still from that. She's a little bit more open because they said they squashed it. It was from last season. Tamra is beefing with Katie because Katie's been talking to a lot of the blogs and like the people who are like a lot of the blogs, like the media take out Perez Hilton versions of whatever it is now, like the people who were like doing the reality recaps, like a me, if you will, if I had like a huge platform. Like Katie is really befriending these girls and really telling these girls a little bit too much. But I think it's because she's new and she's fresh. Like I think she's just talking and she's just trying to like make connections with these people. Sammy, but seriously, I'm like, all right, girl, like, we got a business. Like, I should have brought my little green screen in the background. But anyway, so Tamara's beeping
Wait,
at
I just realized there were comments.
yes. Hey, I can always count on my hot mess mind girl. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some content for y'all. We gonna pop in on a live or something, maybe on TikTok. Or maybe we're gonna pop up on the Brains Beauty and Bullshit YouTube. We'll see. You heard it here first. Won't be sharing this comment because it's inaccurate. But anyway, so yeah, uh, Katie and Tamra are beefing because she was running her mouth to the blogs. Jen and Katie are the only people. Like, Jen is the only one talking to Katie. Jen is the girl in the middle. Um, boom, 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 just lying like a Leo, huh? Catch it. Gina is beefing with Katie because Gina feels like she brought Katie. Gina is the girl all the way in the end. You can't see her face. Thank God, thank goodness, because she look a mess. But she's mad at Katie because she feels like I brought her around this circle and she's embarrassing me. And then Emily, the girl in the corner, is mad at her because her daughter babysat um Katie's daughter babysat Emily's youngest sons, and they were talking about how Emily doesn't like Heather. Then she calls her snooty or whatever, whatever. And so everybody was coming for Katie,
Wait, she calls her what?
like snooty, like just
Oh,
like oh, she
Sydney.
stuck up. I don't like that. I don't like this bitch. She thinks she all this. She blah 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 blah. Blah. Like just kids just talking shit because they hear their mama talking shit, and say like, yeah, my mama don't like Heather because she say she this and that, which I'm sure she does. But they were like, how dare you? God, come on. Everybody talking about everybody. Nene flirted with Peter. Anyway, I don't want this to be we hate Katie. We hate Katie season. Like that's gonna piss me off. And so yeah. On to I have so many shows to catch up on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to zoom. So
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
let's get into Next Gen New York City real quick. So Next Gen New York City is essentially the sort of like I would say Vanderpump Rules of the regular Housewives. It's going through what the kids of the Housewives like. How have they grown up? The people who we saw when they were young. So we have Ariana, who is front and center right above the Bravo sign. This is Kim Zodiac's child. If you don't know who Kim Zodiac is, baby, turn over Housewives of Atlanta season 1. And we have Riley Burris, who is the great Candy Burris Tucker's daughter, who's the only black girl you see in the picture. Oh, sorry, the only like curly hair, like you see she black. Immediately, no shade to Ava Dad.
Well, I was about to say because there's that other girl off to the side. Now, who is she?
And you can tell she black.
She could be
She is. She is.
black-ish.
No, she is black. But I'm just saying,
Oh, okay,
Riley. There's no misunderstanding. She's black. What my girl say? I'm
right.
black.
I'm black.
Yes. The children are growing up. The children are growing up. And so this show is really showcasing Ariana moving to New York and sort of like the circle. And so we have Brooks Marks, who is Meredith Marks from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City son. And he's trying to really expand himself outside of his mother's shadow. We have Gia Judice, who is, I think her name is Gia. I don't watch Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's the only housewife franchise I do not watch. But she's the legendary, iconic Teresa Giudice's daughter, and so she's on this show, and so it's really showcasing all of them. I really love Amira. She's a trans woman. She's gorgeous. She's fierce. She's just very like commanding. Like I think about a lot about this, Miles, of like who I was. Mind you, when we were 25, we were in grad school, but like
Yeah. Well, we had just graduated.
I guess,
You said when we were 25, we were
yeah,
already out in the world.
I guess
What you mean
I
you
didn't feel
guess?
like I was
We
out in the
we
world.
were.
I didn't feel like I was out in the world.
Well, okay, but you were in transition.
Yeah, because the
No,
pandemic.
right. And you were also trying to like, between LA and Beaumont and trying to like make that work. And luckily it did.
Luckily,
Is
you
that
made the
am I on the
money.
money or is that not
A little, you a little
is that
close, but
in
not
that
too, not
sense
too,
that
not too, not too. In the sense that And so all I'm saying is, I feel like they really are out in the world. I guess I feel like I've been a child my whole life, and I feel like they are really out in the world and just doing the things. I could never live and grow up in New York. I don't think I could have grown up in New York, fresh from
Oh, I
grad
don't think so
school.
either. At
Yeah,
least myself.
yeah, and like like most of them
It's a
are
nice thing to think about, like to
20.
like, ooh, yes, I could do the city life and all of that.
You have to be prepared for it, and like I'm. very southern through and through, and like I can live in. I'm ready to take whatever the world has for me, but city living is just
Uh-huh.
a completely different thing.
And that's what I've discovered as I've gotten older too. I'm Southern. I like space.
I like space. I like a lot of things that they like in the South, child, except for
Yeah.
racism. Let me be very clear.
No, that's everywhere. It's just in the different forms. You know what they say.
Exactly. But yeah, shout out to Next Gen New York City. I definitely recommend watching it. It's a lot of drama. It's very fun. I think it's 8 episodes, so it's a cute little watch. So I recommend anyone watch it. I think if you are a fan of any of these housewives, watch their kids. OMG, Lauren Hargraves, something.
Hi,
Um,
Lauren.
but yeah, if you are any of their parents fans, watch the show. It's really nice, and it's also nice to have sort of that mix of like housewife versus non-housewife kids, and like how they grow up. Because some of these people grew up like Ava Dash grew up with D Dame Dash, like Run DMC, all those things. Like this white boy, he's 30, he's the same age as me and Miles, and his daddy, he rich as hell, and like like being around this group of people, um, the other white boy who behind Amira, between Amira and Brooks, he his family owns Zaxby's. So like like these people also come from
Oh,
money. Girl, catch it. These people also come from money, and they also come from affluence and like private schools and just like all these types of things, privilege. But it's very different than the fame that comes with being sort of like a celebrity's child, and like celebrity in
mhm.
a way that's not like these people. No shade to any of them. They're not Blue Ivy, but in the landscape of like reality
In
television,
the
like they
sense
are
that.
some in the sense that they are something. And so rah rah rah. Let's get on to Big Brother. Talk about this very quickly. Anybody who knows me knows I'm obsessed with the Big Brother.
What
Um,
season is this?
27. I can't wait till they put me on Big Brother. I need to start applying again, but girl, I don't know. It's clearly not working. Yeah, rich people kids are still rich and walk among us, girl, with big things. Look, cut from a different cloth, child. Blue is cut from a different cloth. But anyway, Big Brother,
I love
cute
that the people
season.
watch.
This might be the last season of that's extremely like diverse because Paramount has been bought out by Skydance. And they said that they don't want any diversity initiatives, and so I'm very curious to see how they do casting. So this should have been I should have applied for this season,
Paramount
but
said that, or
Skydance. So Skydance has acquired Paramount, and so they say that they
wait a
don't have
minute,
diversity initiatives.
Skydance. I remember. I know
Skydance
that there was a
Paramount merger,
merger.
hmm and
Oh,
it's almost complete.
that's crazy.
hmm And honestly, I don't know. Like, look, what did she say? Red Leg Extra Filler is a choice child. I love Amy. She's no longer in the house with us. I'm thinking exactly. I'm thinking I'm going to. So I have a few friends who watch Big Brother, and I'm thinking about like tapping them and like just going over like talking about Big Brother like weekly of just like our thoughts and things like that, like on cam like this. It depends on if they're comfortable with it. If they are, I definitely want to do it, but I don't want to do it alone. And so my roommate watches it as well. We watch it together. And so like I would love to get like those different voices and POVs in the space and like laugh and talk about like the Big Brother. Um, but we'll see, child. We'll see. And then now we're getting
Oh
to
my
my favorite
god!
part of the show. And so I did good on time. I really want to spend 30 minutes talking about all
With
of my
this ice
shows.
cream, was this New
But
York?
no, babe,
Oh,
this
I'm
was
sorry. You're talking.
DC.
Let me shut up. Do your show, girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, finish your show. So, as I told y'all, I want to change up my format, and so thank goodness we had Miles come and talk to us, child. So it wasn't just me talking to myself and my lovely babies in the comments, because I know I have a few friends who are shy and so they'll text me and they won't put it in the comments. Thank y'all for engaging with us. I really appreciate it. But yeah, without further ado, I wanted to officially introduce Miles. Like I said, me and Miles have been friends for over 10 years. We went to college together, undergrad together. This is a picture of us for Homecoming Royalty, where he won the Homecoming Royalty that he don't know where the flower, the stash, the hat, none of that is, child. He probably ripped it and burned it. Mind you, I still have my stash because I was a
I
proud
think I
baby.
still have my stash too.
Who knows,
The
child?
crown is in the garbage. It's in somebody's landfill. I'm not gonna lie.
I remember that. I saw you throw it
That
away.
shit looks
We went
deplorable.
to we went to a Mexican restaurant afterwards,
Yeah.
with one of our good friends and another one of my good friends. And I think before we left with their headache, Miles was like, "Yeah, I'm getting a headache wearing this
That
hat."
I
But yeah, so me and Miles are going to really get into all things Love Island. So I'm going to turn over the show to Miles, and he's going to take over this next sort of part. I'm gonna still be clicking through the PowerPoint,
wait,
but
turn over the show. Whoa.
yeah, baby, I don't know nothing about Love
Whoa.
Island, so you got to educate us. I'm gonna ask you questions, of course,
Okay, amazing.
but
All right.
yeah, I'm gonna ask you questions, of course, but like this is your expertise, this is your field. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you like Love Island, get into it with us, child. Love Island season
Oh my
7, Miles.
God.
Where do we begin?
So first of all, it's season 7 of Love Island. They in Fiji all the time. If you don't watch, it's basically Big Brother, but they are honestly, I call it a humiliation ritual. Like Big Brother has a humiliation ritual, but this shit is nasty. And just disclaimer: everybody's tested. If we didn't know, they're STD wise,
I
because
was just about to
there
say
was some
tested it in
scares.
STDs.
There were some scares, okay, because Nick had that little bump on his lip, and Austin had little bumps on his lips and all of that. And so it was like, what's going on down at the Fiji? But they have confirmed that they're tested, and apparently Charlie busted up Nick's lip by accident, and Austin just got a face. So there's that. But
Big Brother also tests folks before they go into the house as well.
oh, amazing! Like sexually or like
Yeah, they do
okay, I
blood
never
work
knew
and
that.
they do a full screening. Cause yeah, shout
I
out
think that's very
season.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think season 9. I think someone found out, or later, someone found out that they had like a STD that was like, and I think they end up exiting the show. But yeah, they test that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, but yeah. And so where do we begin? I don't know. I mean, we can start from because who won is not even pictured on here. So like this isn't even
Not yet.
everybody. Okay.
Mhm.
So where should we start? Like where
So tell me the layout of Love Island. How does it start? How many people do we like are introduced with? And then just give me like the format of the show. I know there's Casa Amor. There's like
right.
major moments and things like that. Like
So
give
I
me like
should
a
just
quick run.
assume like you've never seen it
Yeah,
because you haven't.
and some of the folks haven't seen it yet.
You know what I'm saying? You haven't.
I haven't. Well, I've seen. So I watched Justine in her man's season, and I
Who is
watched it when Taylor. That
Justine?
was the pandemic. Justine,
Okay,
dark skinned
okay.
cutie. She was gorgy.
Yes.
She went on to be on the challenge and all that stuff, and really integrated into the world. So I've only watched
Yeah.
that season of Love Island USA. I've seen a few episodes of the Love Island UK of like, oh Bev and like whatever the slang that they be using,
Yeah.
child, like rip or what do they say about hot people? There's a word that they say buff or I don't know.
I don't know. They say a lot of. They say. Let me put a chat girl. They say a lot of things.
Mhm.
I love UK though. Like it's just. I love the shit that they be saying. It's just so funny to me. And you're just gonna go. You're just gonna go over there and just crack on. You're gonna go crack with her. Anyway, so this season was a hot ass mess, just to say the least. Last season, if you didn't know, last season was very popular. It was where Love Island, came to popularity. It was season 6. Granted, it's been on for like, you know, okay, great. Well, I know that because Lauren was actually supposed to watch with me, but we'll just call it a miss,
Fit. They say
for both
fit.
of us. Yeah. Um, but season 6 was really popular, and so everybody was concerned about this season. And by everybody, I mean people that were just being annoying and just like, oh my god, it's not going to be season 6, even though they only watch season 6. Like it's like, come on, girl, like you don't watch Love Island because it's going to be the best TV that you've ever seen. You watch it simply for the drama and to be entertained, right? And while I say that Love Island this season was a hot ass, I mean just like the foulest shit, hot ass mess, right? It was also the most entertaining, I will say. It's also the first season where they had to do like literal disclaimers because of the popularity of the season, that they had to be like, don't treat the islanders bad on social media because you got cyber bullies and all of that shit. But basically, they go through a humiliation ritual where they're trying to find love. And at the end of the game, whoever wins, whoever America picks to win, because we do vote, there's an app. And if you don't have it downloaded, it is the funniest shit ever. You have to download the app next season. But we do vote on who will be the winner, and that person will win $100,000. And they have the choice of taking the whole money, which basically is like, were you here for love or were you here for the money? And you can get baby. We are going to get to Miss Huda. Oh my god!
And Michaela wants to get the back end, so I'm gonna send it to her too because she's a Love Islander as well.
But so you have the choice of like whether you're here for the money or for love. You can split it with your partner because you can't get to the end without having.
What would you do? What would you do, Miles, if you got the money and you were in the end and like you were the winner and they were like, "Hey, like, are you going to share this with your partner? Or are you going to just take the money?"
I would split it if I absolutely like them. If I like them, absolutely. Yeah.
You're so.
Oh, you
like
whoa.
them is wild.
You wouldn't split it?
No, and I probably love them too. Here's the thing,
and that's why you're going on Big Brother, okay? So,
so Miles, do you think that there's a future, like in the universe, where we could have like a queer version of Love Island?
No.
Do you think? I agree, unfortunately.
No. In the same way, in the sense that we won't even have, what is it, the ultimatum? We won't even have a gay ultimatum because it just won't work. Everybody's just going to be fucking each other. Like,
oh, so
and it will be the messiest shit you've ever seen, but it will be the shit that literally goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It goes nowhere.
So you mean a queer man, but like queer, because there's the queer ultimatum with more so women in film.
Queer femme and women's will work. That will work. There's a lot more emotion involved in it. Will they be, fucking? Yes, but there'll be a lot more emotion involved. Men, it's not even fun anymore. It's just.
Did you watch? Are you the One?
Did I watch? No, but I did hear about that. But that's different though because there's like
it's very different.
Yeah,
it's a little. It's like the Basketball Wives of like Basketball Wives to Housewives of Love Island.
Yeah. But I do know they had that one queer season on there.
Yes, and it was just really good. Yeah, they are aimless whores.
Aimless whores. They are aimless whores. Gay men are aimless whores. And I am saying as a reformed whore myself, and Lauren, we've talked about that tier. As a reformed whore myself, I'm just a slut. But some of these, they're whores, okay? They're whores. All right?
Miles, can we take a brief break so you can like break down your chart? Just a bridge version.
You want me to break down my chart right now?
A bridge version.
I wish I had it in the PowerPoint, to be honest. That would have been so
put it. Okay, we'll save it. We'll have another time with Miles. We'll talk about some dating shows.
We're going to come back for it? That's what she's saying?
We'll come back.
Okay, we're going to move on from the chart.
What Jocelyn say?
I don't have it with me. So basically the Love Islanders go through this humiliation ritual. They have challenges that they have to go through. And it's basically all about narrowing it down to like the final 4 couples that will be the people that will, go on like the official dates or whatever. And there's also the drama that's in between. And I will say this was also a unique season because this was was it the first season? I'm not sure. But in a while, it was the first season where people were dismissed from the island for their online like behavior. Number one being Ulissa. Ulissa is this one that's all the way over towards the left side with the.
What Ulissa was on this season?
Yes. And she was on a podcast on social media. She's from Miami, Florida. She is also Cuban. And you know how Cubans are. I'm sorry to anybody that's Cuban, but you know your people. Y'all are notoriously anti-Black. So she was on that just being... She's on there just saying, nigga this, nigga that, nigga. And it was just like,
wait, Miles, this makes the tweet that I sent you even funnier.
Even funnier. Do you understand why it was... Yes. That's why it's hilarious because Anyway,
Oh,
so
look, Mickey's ready to join us. Mickey, give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready to come on after Miles
amazing. Hey,
finishes.
Nikki.
Okay.
And it was she was dismissed episode 2, I think. Episode 2 or 3. Like that quickly. And the only thing we got was Ulissa has left the village. Like literally Hunger Games shit. Like just boom boom. She's gone. Oh my God, Tati. I think about you so much.
Same. Tati, we talk about you often. Keep it cute. I'm going first.
You want where?
With Aloe.
Okay.
Look, we all love Tati. We all love Tati. I email Tati often, and she don't hit me up at all. But anyway, back to the show. So I can
You're
add
silly. You're silly. And so there was also Sierra, who is not pictured on here anymore. Where is she? Oh wait, because Sierra was a bombshell. Sierra, a bombshell. She was also dismissed because she was saying Asian slurs back in the day. Hers
Which
is a
one? I'm
little
kidding.
bit different, but still the precedent had already been set. And we'll come back to that in a moment. So miss you too, Tati. I can't wait to the next trip, girl.
Thailand. I'll send y'all information. We are going to Thailand this year. I will send the information.
This year,
I don't have it with me. I know.
July.
I'm going to Mexico right now. I'm in the lounge. I'm going to Mexico right now. I've been doing a lot of international.
I'm going to Mexico. Okay, but it's July. When are you playing in Thailand?
As soon as I come back in August. I just don't have it with me right now.
Okay, Godspeed.
See, I look like I can be in the Love Island, child.
Yes, honestly, Love Island would be such a key TBH, but it also would be a hot because you don't know what's going on outside of you are literally in this like bubble for like, was it 4 or 5 weeks?
That's
and
it.
You don't 4 or 5 weeks, but you don't know what day and you don't know what time it is.
Yeah, so very Big Brother-esque, but I for some reason I thought y'all were in there for 2 months.
No. It was like 5 weeks.
Oh.
However, the UK is longer than a USA season.
Okay.
So if anybody ever is just like, want to do UK, then just know it's longer than the USA.
Well, my main concern was the charger.
Oh my God, Michaela!
And I was like, not
now, Michaela, I heard you have some things, all right? Because you were saying, do I wait?
EV chargers, I bet they would.
Do I wait?
They were looking at it before, parking spot. So
wait, what is that?
That's
Michaela. What's the background?
And before Brett Link and Stevie.
Yeah, who is that?
Look, we're gonna bring you on down real quick, girl. Give me a thumbs up when the.
She said blue.
Anyway, Miles, can you tell us what a bombshell is?
So a bombshell is a person that they send into the village to purposefully like break up like people's couples or to like draw people's eye away. They're supposed to be like, like the challenge of couples, right? And they just drop them in. However, it might be 1 bombshell, it might be 2, it might be 3, it might be 10 if we're talking Casa or more, right? Which we can get to that too. But basically, their job is just to shake up the couples that are in the villa, or just the chemistry that's in the villa, right? So you might be thinking that Nick is really feeling Beldasha, but then Sierra comes in and it's like, who? And he's like, who's Beldasha, right? And then next thing you know,
was Beldasha on the show?
Beldasha is the one in the orange bikini right here. And let me say this because her name is actually Bella, but it's so stupid the way it's so. I'm so sorry, Bella. It really is stupid because why wouldn't you just say Bella, with an A? But it's Belle, BELLE -A.
Her name is Isabella.
I don't give a fuck. She is Beldasha.
Her full name is Isabella. She wanted to be different because she got about 3.5 brain cells.
And that's it right there. You want it to be different, and it just didn't land. And now your name
didn't land.
And then was calling her Beldasha. That's how you know nobody was being serious about that girl.
It was only Nicholas.
No,
Mickey, you see this shade you getting, girl, and rightfully so.
Wait, who said?
Anyone who
Jamie,
doesn't
who
know
is that?
Michaela, that's Sammy. And see, look here, look at you. Look at you.
I don't know people's usernames. Excuse me.
My goodness. So that's Bill Dasher though. And child, she Bill Dasher, if we could just take a moment, Bill Dasher was in the original crew. To be honest, she was Love Island's trying to test out the whole conservative Christian girl thing. And it was like America was like
she didn't want to kiss anybody.
She didn't want to kiss anybody. She was trying to keep it
like,
real
on the
mute.
cheek.
She was like very demure, and it was like, homegirl, this is Love Island. Like, why did you sign up for this if you just wanted to play around?
And why was she in the one piece on the photo if that's how she was?
It's a two piece, but yes,
I'm saying, why wasn't she in a one piece?
Oh, exactly.
Why is she on this show? Why is she on the show?
I hope that, because I mean, newsflash, she did not make it. Obviously, I hope that she found a nice church home, because I feel like that's what she needed. She just needed to find the right church home, find the right man in the church. I'm here for it. But this was not for you.
I was looking for the conservatism, but honestly, I'm conservative too.
Right, Lauren. Exactly. So, but she did loosen up, because when Sierra came, the bombshell. Remember, the bombshells are to shake shit up. When Sierra came in, Bill Dasher said, "Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go save my marriage. I'm climbing this mountain to save my marriage with my man. All right." And she let the walls down quick.
And who was Bella Dasher paired with?
Nick.
She was with Nick. Nick is the white boy that's in the blue shorts, who has like the middle part, little mini bob, whatever you want to call it.
And this don't do him well.
I don't know. It's
you know who giving to me in this photo though? Ace.
Ace was a key. And also,
Mm-mm.
Now, what we're not gonna do is lie. Ace is fine.
What?
Right?
No. Y'all know how I am about height. So 5'7" is it strikes him out. Strike off the record. But I'm putting on the record.
For the people in the audience, how tall are you?
5'7".
Okay. And Ace is 5'10".
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's
5'10". For his legs to be dangling off the seat, he's not 5'10".
He's 5'10". But
5'8".
The way everybody on the show is tall, because everyone's over 6 foot, it makes him look shorter. So he was a short king. It was the gag, and honestly, it was hilarious, because did y'all see the memes where he was exactly, Tati, not too much on Ace. Did y'all see the memes where they was like comparing him to little dancing Peanut from Proud Family?
That's exactly what he looks like. That's exactly what he looks like.
I don't know. Like, I love Ace. Like, I'm like,
I love Ace.
The girls, and here's the reason why I think I like Ace, because the girls said, why didn't God make Ace a stud? And I love a good,
And that's my favorite tweet that I've seen about him thus far, probably ever, actually.
I'm over it, my God.
Over it. And he's 22 years old. Like, what do I have to talk to a 22-year-old about? Absolutely not.
And so,
for me.
And we don't need to talk.
Now we got to get into Ace, because Ace was the villain of the season.
He ran the house too.
He ran the house, quote unquote. But honestly, Shelly and Alandria, he did play around with Shelly for like the longest, because we were like, oh, they need to be together. We don't know why. Ace is over here pussyfooting around, and Shelly is literally right there. Shelly, this Haitian goddess. My God, Shelly.
Every time she was on screen, I was literally like, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Shelly.
Every single time.
And so it was perplexing why Ace was just pussyfooting around Shelly. And I think
he's evil.
Well, I won't go there, but but they eventually came around, and I really think that they were like the unofficial winners of Love Island.
I agree.
And you said what?
I agree. That's what the girl said on Twitter.
Yeah, they're the unofficial winners of Love Island. They were like the primary connection on the show. Everybody was shipping it. Everybody knew that they were just going to win. And ultimately, I think that was their downfall. That and Ace got the bitch cut, where he was the villain, and Shelly, she just could not survive that PR connection. So unfortunately, they just, they had to go. And honestly, it broke my heart. It broke my soul. It really did. They didn't need to win, but I did need to see them in the final because then that's going to push us to Huda.
Wait, I thought they were in the final.
No,
you said what?
They didn't.
No, they weren't.
So
it was
right before the final. That's
right before.
I am a big fan of when a villain meets their downfall by the environment that they created. And so Ace created this environment where everybody hated somebody who made a new connection, which I hated this year's terminologies and connections, explorers, and all this stuff.
What was it saying? Connection. It was something else they were saying.
It was connection, and it was I don't know. But he created that environment. If he wanted to run the villa, he could, but he created that environment where no healthy couples really came out of anything because everybody was supposed to continuously explore. And I think because he didn't continuously explore, he got out when he was fully with Shelly. And I think that's his fault. And I am honestly at peace with where he went out, where he and Shelly went out, even though I feel like Shelly should have won with or without him, but she had to go. She had to go because she was with him, unfortunately. But I think he was a hater the entire time, and I stand by it. He literally did not like any couple. He did not like any person, and he took out the people one by one who actually was doing the exploring that he talked about.
So here's the thing.
Exactly. So thank you so much for sharing that, because now we gotta. What do you say? What you was gonna say?
So here's the thing. So Love Island, I love all these things that y'all are saying. I love all these things you're talking about. I think y'all are more of the experts in these dating shows than I am. But Love Island has become, and it sounds like from the framework, is a strategy show as well, a social strategy show. They're in a social experiment, and so in order to, it's a social experiment with a twist, and so in order to make sure that like whoever is making it towards the end, I see it the same way as like, the different alliances that the girls make on the shows. Traders is another example. People know people are traders and they go to the end with them because they know we're going to handle it at the end. Mm-hmm. Why am I getting you out now? And so I think with the format, it's season 7, as we said, with Love Island, Ace had to come in and play the game a little bit to secure his spot. Because Ace stayed until the very end, and if he wouldn't have done what he was doing, it probably wouldn't have left room for the environment, and he probably would have been X to go, as y'all say, because he wasn't really with our Shelly girl. And so, I mean, fair to everything you're saying, and I'm here for it. However, Ace was trying to make sure that he played the game. Love Island girls are now on the challenge, and they're now being on all these crossover shows for their strategy. And so let's see it implemented on the show too.
And ultimately, that's how the show ends. It's figuring out, is the person here for love or is the person here for money? And I think Ace was just trying to read out the people that were here for money. Cough, cough, Jeremiah. Whether or not that's true on Jeremiah's part,
they're all there for money.
It made drama.
Bingo, Mickey.
Exactly.
They're all there for money. They would not go to Fiji if
which
it
then
didn't
also
guarantee...
goes back to the case of it's a strategy game. It is, and I think that was also something that was thrown around this season a lot, of like people feeling like they were too strategic on this particular season.
It was, because I think this is the product of season 6 too, because season 6 blew up out of nowhere. Like, I personally only watched season 6 in US because UK was really bad last year, and it was amazing. It was incredible. It was lovely to watch not only the couples bloom, but like the friendships that came out of it bloom. And I think the thing with USA that happened before is the 5 seasons before season 6, them people just went on that show for a free vacation, because none of them came out of that show famous. A couple of them, like a couple of sprinkles of people, like, I don't know if you remember Whitney Justine.
That's what I mentioned earlier. And Justine is a staple from Love Island in the verse. She has made her way. She's crossed over into Paramount and Peacock verses.
She has.
So,
So she's one of those rare cases, but it's rare. It has up until this point, or up until last year, been a very rare case if they've blown up.
Season 6 is still riding their way, but we'll get to that.
They really are. Season 6,
and we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that.
Well, I unfortunately have to go because I have to get back to work. But
my God,
it was the night. stay with us on the YouTube if you able, babes.
Okay.
And I'll be back, Michaela.
Yes, he will. Miles is gonna be anytime we talk about dating shows. Miles is the expert, so we're gonna be getting into some dating shows. So Miles, we need to watch.
I'm also an expert. I'm also because I can talk for years and years and years.
Oh, you talking about back in LA?
Yes.
Yeah, we do want you back in LA, Miles.
We do, but anyway, bye.
Yeah, I told Miles what you said, sister.
Great. You can text me.
No, we gonna figure it out. Next.
Bye.
Bye, baby. All right, y'all. Okay, so yeah, let's get into.
So I'm so happy that she brought up creating the environment because I mean I will say to Ace's defense, everybody who except for Jeremiah, of course, has basically said that like Ace was a sweetheart. Like what we predominantly saw was like Ace's like. I don't want to say negative.
Is this Jeremiah in the red pants, in the red shorts?
Jeremiah is the one that's in the red pants, and it is the large story that Ace was the ringleader that got Jeremiah off the show. However, in that vote, and this was also one of the most annoying things about the season, is because there felt like it was so many votes where the Islanders had to vote each other off, and it wasn't like up to America to vote them off because we were like, baby, many of these people would have been gone immediately. And Jeremiah, I don't think would have been America's pick. I think if America had their choice in it, it would have been Austin. Austin would have been the one to have gone. Austin's the one in the pink shorts. He's one of those people that's like, he thinks it's funny to vote for Republicans and things like that and say the most crudest jokes and all that stuff. And America was like, he needs to go. And honestly, there was a moment in the season where they had to tell it like it was or stand on business. And the Islanders were like, we don't know how you made it this far. Nonetheless, they say that Ace ran the vote and got Jeremiah off the show. However, the other Islanders, i.e. Nick in blue shorts and Taylor all the way to the left side in the burgundy shorts, said that everybody played an equal role. And Nick is really wanting them to roll the clips at the reunion about how that vote went, just to show it. But all that to say, Ace was really villainized this season. And I don't think we actually saw like the true best of Ace, even though we did see like some really good things from Ace. But you know who acted an ass? Miss Huda. Miss Huda is in the burgundy swimsuit, two-piece swimsuit, all the way to the right. She is a Palestinian descent, and you know, I don't know what the rules are, but we're gonna say here, Free Palestine. However, that does not negate Huda's behavior on this show. And Woody knows
I didn't know Huda was Palestinian.
It is Palestinian. Yeah, so all the girls, so that also adds to the cult following that Huda has because people are like, she's Palestinian, we need to go hard for her. And it's like, so many times, Huda should have went home. So Huda was paired with Jeremiah, and this was Ace's biggest problem because Ace was like, y'all got paired off way too quickly. Like, you were supposed to be here, you're supposed to be pursuing, not just pursuing, but like exploring other connections, which was the whole thing. Which was also why Jeremiah got voted off, because there was another bombshell that came in and he did the same thing that he did with Huda with that bombshell. And the people, yeah, we're going to come to that. And so Huda and Jeremiah closed it off very quickly. Like, as quickly as the first episode, the first choosing, I think it was Ulissa that tried to go up and kiss Jeremiah, and Jeremiah gave her a peck on the cheek. And it was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, I got who I want now. And it's like, that's not this game. You know, the game is to explore people, talk to people, get to know people. If you want to lock it down that quickly, then you can just get off the show. You know, it's boring. In America was also feeling that. Everyone was like, this is boring. Like, no one wants to see Jeremiah and Huda and all this stuff. And we were waiting for a bombshell to come and break them up, which is what we did with Iris later in the season, but not before Huda went off on Jeremiah, because Jeremiah started to basically see Huda for who she was, which was a manipulator. And we can't forget that she's a mamacita.
And I heard that that's I heard that that's what people were saying every week.
every week because it was her storyline. She kept saying, I'm a mother. And Shelly, she did. She was like, baby, just tell people. Nobody's going to care. Whether they know now or whether they know later, it's going to be the same. So you might as well just tell people that you're a mom. And by all means, Shelly had the most sense because I'm like, why is she acting like people would care that she has a child?
Is this illegal?
It feels illegal. Anyway, so that was the storyline. She was a mother, she was mamacita, she was all the different things, right? And she also was a manipulator. She was a gaslighter. And she might have had, a little bit of a personality disorder at times too, because she was also a liar. She did not know the lie from the truth. There were many, many times on the show where she was confronted and she would be like, I didn't do that. And then roll the clip. There's Huda saying something like, I think there was at one point at Bombshell, TJ was like talking to her about something and she was like, oh, I'm not a fuck you type of girl. Cut to her going off on Jeremiah saying, fuck you, bitch. you're a bitch from across the villa, mind you. She's yelling across and she's going off and she has the pathology shows that she just does not handle things well. She says at one point in the pillow talk to Jeremiah that she has trust issues and all of that. And ultimately, every time it came down to it, Huda should have went home. She should not. Fun fact, she made it to the end. She made it to the finale because she has a following called the Hood Rats, or what do they call them? Huda HQ or something.
I saw, but they might call her something else. Call them something else now because she don't like that. But they was called Hood Rats.
Right. Unaffectionately, derogatorily, Hood Rats. Affectionately, they were called Huda HQ or Huda Hive or something like that. And a lot of it had to do, I believe, with her being Palestinian and, people wanted to see a Palestinian move through the ranks or whatever. And they were just like, she can't do no wrong.
Which I'm not mad at that because there do be trifling people who I'm like, I'm going to support because they're black and I want them to get far in the show. But like, they get on my nerves. So shout out to the Palestinians for standing behind Huda. I did not know this about Huda. And so she get a few for me. Just for genealogy.
And just a few. Because my personal thing is she should have went home, right? There were so many moments where it was like, this is not good for her mental health. Like, how is she doing, And also watching her bounce between what was the truth and what was clearly a lie. It was just like, this is not a good, I'm gonna just say it's not a good representation, to be honest. And I think she should have just went home.
Sure.
And I mean, by all means, she made it to the end, and she's gonna have brand deals on brand deals, so she's gonna be fine. But she definitely was the most controversial this season. Literally, everybody in the villa was sick of her. We can send you like it, yeah. And this is where I say, all things considered, the public does not care about Huda. Like the public, the Huda stands, they don't care about her because they would have sent her home. Like she needed to be with her daughter, her child. Okay. And she explored her connections. Nobody really wanted to mess with her. Every connection she got in after Jeremiah blew up, and it was just like she needed to just go home. Like people did not care about her. They just wanted to push her to the end. And it's just like
the strategy I was talking about.
And mind you, everybody that left the show, for the most part, has some brand deal. So it doesn't matter whether she went to the finale or not. It was honestly just embarrassing after a certain point. But I'm sorry, you were saying something?
I'm saying going back to the strategy of it all, I see it. Like, you know what I mean? And honestly, too, I would want her at the end as well because she's a horrible couple. And so she's bad. Pick me because I'm better.
And one thing I will say, because this was the first time we saw a couple in the finale that clearly did not want to be together, and they ended up yay, the finale. So Huda, she's coupled up with Chris, who was a basketball player who was coupled up with Shelly, mind you, at one point. One is Shelly bad, one is Shelly down, and Huda was allegedly, not even allegedly, in my opinion, beyond jealous of Shelly. Like she wanted everything Shelly had, and she was mad because Shelly got an extra pancake because the boys make them breakfast. She was mad that Shelly got a flower and she didn't. She was mad that and by all means, it was just like, she also was saying that and this is where it got dicey for Shelly because the people had so much sympathy for Huda because she cried all the fucking time. She was the first person and the last person to cry on a goddamn show. People had so much sympathy for Huda that it overshined Shelley's, I would say, kind of like not even self-righteousness, but like righteous anger towards Huda. In some of the ways that Huda was like going about it and moving throughout the villa, like it was just like
all those types of things.
Yeah, it was just like, girl, like, what are you? Why are you moving the way that you're moving? And what really was the catalyst for that was that there's a challenge, it's a heart rate challenge. They do it almost every season, and basically everybody does a strip tease for everybody in the villa. This time, couples came out. Huh?
Kenny and Janae's heart rate challenge.
Stop it. We're gonna get to that. But and so they do a strip tease, and basically we didn't get to see it in the show, but we saw everybody's reaction to Huda dancing on Ace, who at the time was in a couple with Shelley. Exactly. And we can talk about the colorism, the white supremacy of it all, but like she pulled Ace to dance on him, and by all means, they said that Shelley had went to everybody and Huda was still grinding on Ace's face. And so literally everybody was like, she did too much. And Huda even said she did too much. But again, that reality of it, one scene she's saying, I did too much. Another scene she's saying it's just a challenge. You know, she could never like really take full accountability, if any at all. And it was just really upsetting to just kind of just see and watch. And every time it happened, it was like, she needs to go home. But here she is in this couple with Chris, who is a basketball player, who claims that he doesn't have to be there. He could be overseas playing basketball if he wanted to, because he's an international basketball player. Okay. But here's my take, Chris. You're here for the summer, and basketball isn't in season. And guess where you are? You're on Love Island, and you had to do extensive screening to get on this show. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You wanted to be on this show, point blank, period. So I don't give a fuck about that. All right.
And even if he was scouted, so for folks who don't know on reality television, so there's people who apply like me, there's people who are scouted, such as like, you know, like, oh, you have a talent, or you have the look, or you have what we want on this show. We want you on this season, but they still have to go through all the necessary requirements. They can't just
you have to go through so many hoops.
Just because they want you there, you still have to be a part of the same process as everyone else. It's just that like your stuff is flagged essentially.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might skip a few processes, but you still have to go through the processes. And so It's not like
Exactly. So the whole, I could be overseas playing basketball if I wanted to. First of all, y'all don't even make that much money overseas. So stop.
They look good though in this purple.
I love Chris though. He was a very gentle giant. They say he looked like Tyler Perry, and I can't unsee it. I could not unsee that shit. But he was very, very kind. He was very patient with Huda, and Huda just would not budge. Like, she was just so disrespectful to that man. And every chance that she got, she just like tried to make him basically be the villain until they had their final date. He made that girl walk across the water, even though she was like, "Are you going to carry me?" He said, "No, I'm not carrying you," because essentially he had to force her to break up with him because she wouldn't make the decision. She wanted him to break up with her. And it was like, he was just like, that's not the problem here. The problem is you don't want to be with me. And I know you don't want to be with me. So why are we pretending here? And Huda just could not face reality. And that is literally Huda in a nutshell. Also Huda in a nutshell was in that whole Shelley beef. She was like, and it wraps Huda up perfectly. She was complaining to Chris about the situation, and she said, "Would it matter if I was ugly?" That is Huda in a nutshell, because she is male-centered. That's one, and two, she knows that she is pretty. She knows that she is lighter, many shades lighter, and closer to whiteness than Shelley will ever be in her life. And it's like, would it matter if I were ugly? You know, basically saying if I were ugly, nobody would be that mad at me, but it's because I'm a pretty bitch and everybody hates me. And it's like, no, bitch, you have no standards and no morals, and you're inconsistent and incongruent. That is the problem. That is the problem.
If I was a pretty girl, I'd be just like Huda.
And by all means, still would have the same reaction, girl. And so,
My thing about
It was
Hooded
the.
my thing about Hooded is I think about people who get on these shows, and so just a little bit more background and context. So they do have, while people are on the shows, they do have like therapists for them to like talk to and see, like in case like whatever. My
The
thing is,
producers,
and a lot of shows have does Love Island not have therapists? Like a Big Brother has
they have
therapists, and
therapists
like
after.
okay, and that was gonna be my next thing. So wait, they don't.
Mhm.
You're kidding me? They don't have a therapist on site in
I don't
Fiji?
believe so. I know Shelly said that Shelly wasn't specific. She didn't say therapist specifically, but she said that there were people they could talk to.
Okay. Maybe that was the call, but yeah, a lot of times because anything can happen, child. Like the people be on with with the way that reality TV is now, especially with something like the Sierra of it all. Like people are
Yeah.
watching you day to day, and like commenting on you and all these types of things. And some people just aren't. Even though you got to take a psychiatric evaluation to be on the show. Um, yeah. Anyway,
Well, I don't know how Huda got past hers, or maybe, and that's
well, you
also
know
the tea. It's not
what?
even that she got past it, but it's through the psych evaluation that the producers know she's gonna make good TV. Oh yeah, she's a crash out. She's gonna make
And
great TV. And the first two crash outs, gold, TV gold. Everything after that was annoying.
and you know what? And I think, and that's the one people don't know. It gets to a point. It gets to the point.
It gets to a point.
Pick me with the side of slight oppression and manipulation. Exactly. No, it gets to a point, and I think that like it no longer. You had your fun. Now let the mouse go. It's week
Yeah.
5.
It's week 5.
We're getting on the
She
finale
went
next week.
home. She should have went home. She shoulda, coulda, woulda, what she should have went home. Anyway, that's Huda, and honestly, I'm glad that she's still doing great. There's obviously been drama after the villa because she still is not taking accountability, and she's saying that she was bullied on the show when really she just sucked the air out of the room entirely, and everybody had to tend to Huda's feelings all the damn time. And so she was anything but. If anything, people just needed space from her. But anyway, you can't tell I don't have much for her. So
But can we focus our attention? So I will say, out of all these people, and hey, whack me if you want. I think Nick and Landria look the best out of the couples on the photos. Like I think that they really do. Both together, they really do. I don't know. I'm just a fan of it. I'm a fan of her smile. I'm a fan of the gold. I'm a fan of like his haircut. This is the best. He didn't look that good to me on the
he
initial.
couldn't dress for shit, and he said that too.
And so I think like because whereas I think Amaya Papaya looks really good, her man looks a little bit greasy to me. No shade. Like I'm just like I can do without the Jeremiah and the Huda. Huda is cute, but she does this weird thing where she's like always on the side. I've seen her in some of her little videos, and she does this little weird thing that she's always on the side. And I don't know how I feel about that. And then the white girl in the biracial.
Iris, he is not
Whoever.
biracial. He is white Hispanic. Is he biracial? Pepe is not biracial. His family,
That's
his family's
Pepe.
white.
That's Pepe. That's Pepe.
That's Pepe.
Okay.
His family's white.
They look cute, but they look a little mismatched to me. I think she looks phenomenal. She's eating him up. I think they both look good separately, but together, I don't really.
Here's the thing. I love Pepe. If I was Pepe's type, he claimed his type ain't blonde, but I love Pepe. Pepe was like one of the sweetest boys on the show, but had a thing for white blondes. So he ain't looking my way no time soon, or for that matter. But I love Pepe. I love Pepe, but I agree. I think Alandria definitely ate the girls down every single episode. Like
I heard she was best
never
dressed
missed
in
aside
Vogue
from
or
her
something like
casino.
that.
You said what?
Wasn't she in like the Vogue's like best dresser or something like that, like from the show?
Had to be. Alandria. My God. But the highlight. Now, one thing I do want to say, and you can see it in this photo. That concealer, whatever that is right there, I just wanted it to match and blend a little bit more.
A little
That's my
more
only little
muted.
critique
A little
on
more
that.
muted. I mean, I see it.
Not even muted, but just like blend with her actual skin tone.
Mm-hmm. And I receive it. I see it.
But yes, I love, and then we have Alandria and Nick Alandria, who were the underdogs of the season. Well, Alandria predominantly because she was with Taylor, who is now with Clark, and that was a whole mess. But
Taylor's interesting to me, and he doesn't fit her, which I
yeah,
a little bit about her, but
you
like
can see why though she thought that
because he's cute and tall with
because
some
he was a
dreads.
cowboy. Because she wanted somebody country. He's from
Oh.
Oklahoma. She's from Alabama.
And honestly, it gets to a point. I can't show y'all who I because they don't be looking all the greatest either. But Nicolandria is just a bona fide like diva queen. Like I feel like she's really in her energy, really into her look, and so like she deserves
I really
someone
hope
who.
it's true. I really hope it's true.
I don't know too much about the Nick. Who knows if it'll last? I
I
hope
don't know
you
either.
know. I
And I
will.
watched all 5 weeks of the show.
So Miles, before we move on to previous season, I want to talk a little bit about like these couples who made it to the finale. Who, if you can rank them, of like who's going to stay together, like who's going to break up soon and then stay together the longest, and then I want your rationale for at least the ones who you think are going
Yeah.
to break up soon, and then I want your rationale for who you think is going to stay the longest. The in between, who cares if you want, sure, but like more so the beginning and the end.
Honestly, I'm so shook by the information that has been released over the last 24
Exactly.
hours that I'm like, who the fuck knows? But let me just say, not Iris, but Huda and Chris are automatically chopped out. Like they broke up at the finale. I don't know. So here's the thing. I think Iris and Pepe have a good chance of being together. I don't see it lasting. I also think Amaya and Brian are really good together, but I don't see that lasting either. And I question Nick and Alandria, not because I don't think that their connection is not authentic, but because of the way that the season ended, we didn't really get enough chemistry or like connection building between the two of them. It honestly happened way too late. Not way too late and like it'll never happen, but way too late for us watching the show. And I do. Here's my hopeful thing: the people that I hope to last the longest would be Nick and Alandria. I hope they would last the longest. The second I lean towards is Amaya and Brian. There's already been some rumor that Brian's been, slinging around and busting girls down and stuff like that. Rumors, allegedly, we don't know. And then third, just because I want Pepe for myself, and I also realistically don't see it lasting that long. Iris and Pepe, because Iris is a beautiful girl, and Pepe is a fine man, and he beat Chris in basketball. So he said only one of us played professional during the show. I said, Pepe, you better tell him. You better tell him, Pepe. But I would say they're the least that I see lasting.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like because of the clout that you and the social capital that you get from Love Island, it's questionable as to when they will actually when was the actual fallout of their relationship and when did they just choose that all right, let's be public and let's be separate.
So here's the thing for me, Miles. I feel like out of these four, the only ones who has a level, and they won't be two last season, but who has a level of having some clout that lasts beyond the month or beyond like the reality TV show out of here or whatever, the reunion, will be Nick and Alandria because so many people are following through them. I think people love Amaya Papaya and people are going to follow her.
I love Amaya Papaya, but I don't need Brian with Amaya Papaya to love Amaya.
And I think secondly, and probably more than Nicolandria that I saw as someone who doesn't watch the show, is Ace and Shelly. And that's who the girls are like really rooting and rocking for.
The shadow winners of the show.
And so I think that like those two couples, Nicolandria and Ace and Shelly, are going to be the couples to go that like people are going to be like, following. And I think the girls who people are going to be watching is Amaya Papaya and, Wack Mom. But I think the girls are going Huda. Like I think the girls are gonna want to see what Huda got, how she crashing out, who she dating, what she doing.
Yeah. They're gonna keep tabs on Huda for sure. They're already saying, "Girl, have you visited your daughter yet?" because apparently she's stomping around LA, but apparently allegedly she ain't seen her baby yet.
I wonder if I see any of them in the lounge, girl.
So what?
In the lounge.
Yeah, right. So who knows?
Okay. Well,
Good questions,
what
though.
would you rate this season overall out of 10?
The season was a hot ass
Or a
mess.
letter grade?
I think it was still like a good season as far as being entertained. I think entertainment, I would give it a score of I would give it a 4 out of 5 for entertainment. I think it requires you to have had a suspension of like control because like the producers just were all over the place, and so you just never knew what was going to happen. But still, the story was kind of just like it still was interesting. And like I said, Huda and Chris were the first couple in the final to obviously hate each other and then break up in the finale, and that was TV gold. You know, I still think she should have went home, but that was TV gold. So
And
entertainment,
that's what people are looking for. Yeah.
entertainment, I give it 4 stars. I don't know how to say like the flow of the show, like did I get like my actual final 4 couples? Do I really feel like, this was like these connections were built, genuinely and over time? I give that a 2. I think the flow was chaotic. We didn't even get a movie night where Huda could see herself act a fool in front of everybody. We didn't get a movie night to see Sierra cry and see Nick and Alandria and their kiss and how spicy it actually was. Because they did downplay it to her. But all the same, I think they still respected her. I give the flow of the show a 2 out of 5. And Ariana's fashion, the host, I give that 5 out of 5. She ate down. Ariana is such a great host of Love Island. Like the show was a mess, but Ariana Maddox, they did right picking her as a host. Like last season, I didn't like her fits that much, but this season her fits ate down, and she was such a great host. Like such a great host. So yeah.
Cheers. All right. Well, let's be on with that. We'll revisit y'all when we do the reunion recap.
Oh, for sure.
Now on to what's happening with the PPG main stars of Love Island. Put Love Island USA on the map. Aside from Justine and whoever that man was, I feel like that really did bump them up. And I think that this really was like, when I say that their level of success, so as someone who does not watch the show as well, someone who's very well versed, I would say, in the reality TV streets, especially ensemble type shows.
It's still everywhere.
It's everywhere. They're everywhere, and we want to know what's going on. Literally, Janae and Kenny just did an interview last week or whatever, talking about like bare minimum, our queen treatment, our princess treatment. Like people still want to figure out like what's going on. How are they working? How there is clout to still be had from season 6 cast. Like
absolutely,
people are obsessed, and they're tapping in. I think that like they are the gold mine that like probably will never happen again on this show. Like I think like so much with reality TV, unless they do like I would say like a more open season where they mix. I mean it's going to be hard for viewers to watch something that is not, we love a cis het. Like it can be messy, it can be sloppy, but it's traditional in the same sense. But like there's going to need to be something that really drives away. Like even having their spinoff be on the Villa, I feel like they're the first ones to have a spinoff or like okay,
it's the first iteration.
And so like this is what I mean by these are superstars right here, or in the reality world. Let's use that. And so let's talk about it. Just the biggest thing that happened, y'all. And it hit my streets, and it hit my Twitter, and it hit all the feeds and the people who I'm talking with and about. A big breakup reaches the Villa.
And I hope that in the continuation of the Beyond the Villa, I could totally see them, and kind of like planting a bug in their ear. I could totally see them like slowly like phasing some people out and then phasing new people in of like what are season 7's like hottest couples doing, and by hottest I mean like
We want to know.
people that people care about. Yeah, like what they're doing. Like Huda might, make a
Huda
feature,
will make an
or
appearance.
Amaya, Nicolandria, Shelly and Ace. They might, take a jab at that. But
have a double date with Serena and Cordell or whatever, and talking about like how's it going for y'all? Like
I
like
can see
okay,
that.
so this is what worked for us. Like Love Is Blind does it sometimes. A lot of reality shows when they have like that mix, like they bring the people from the old and the new. So like everyone wants a crossover universe. Everyone wants to be Marvel Multiverse. Keep going.
Right. Honestly, the blueprint, to be honest. And I think it's really, and that makes it so much harder because of the way that like we appear socially invested into season 6, and how we'll do probably the same to some degree in season 7. Like season 7 was a hot ass mess, but still it was still culturally impactful enough that there will still be a following regardless. And it makes it heartbreaking to know when like you find out Janae, who last season we know Janae's the one in the silver dress. Last season we know Janae was kind of like the underdog that still made it to the finale, but still was like somebody that many people felt like she kept getting looked over. One, because she's a Black woman, and two, because she's a dark-skinned Black woman. But she's incredibly beautiful. She's intelligent. She's smart. That's the same thing, and she's well traveled. Like she is, she's dope, and she's a really, really kind person at the end of the day. And so it makes you want to believe anything that she says, to be honest, because she's like, you can tell she's very genuine, and I'm sure there's a character to her too.
Absolutely, we all do.
All of them do. But I do feel like there's some congruency in between like who Janae truly is and the character of Janae. And Kenny, the boy behind her, was her connection that she made it to the final in season 6 with. And recently there were rumors within the last 24 hours that they have broke up. Janae wiped her Instagram of photos of her and Kenny, and something else happened. They unfollowed each other, and then everybody unfollowed Kenny. And so it was like, what the fuck is going on? And to be honest, it was an emotional roller coaster, because it was like, what the fuck? Like my homegirl was like, he's gay, and I'm like, that's not it. Like he's not gay, because some little, I don't want to. I've already cursed so much on this. I don't know what the laws are on here of what we can and cannot say.
I'm not monetized, so I think we can say whatever.
So some little, punk would have already outed Kenny, at this point.
I would have. No, I wouldn't have, but
maybe not you, but some punk.
Because I'm not gonna out myself, but I would have told.
Because they already outed Nick for being bisexual, so it was like and he was on the show already, so it would have already came out. So it was like, what is going on with Kenny? And come to find out, he was using Janae for clout. And basically does not like Black women, doesn't like Janae, and it was really, really sad to like see that because of everything that we saw Janae go through on the show up until this point. And it brings up some questions. I can't lie. It does bring up questions. And Woody and I have talked about this as far as like, how much did Janae actually let slide up to this point? Because you've been with him for a year. You've been with this man for a year and nothing made you raise an eyebrow?
And there's some nuances that, like, I've talked to quite a few people. I haven't dated that many. I mean, loosely, if you depending on how you want to say date. And I've talked to quite a few people. And Miles knows this, and a lot of my friends know this. Like, girl, I'm quick to cut it off if you looking hoe. I feel like if there's a semblance of anti-Blackness, I'm going to sniff it out of you.
Yeah.
And if I'm not unapologetically Black and country enough, my family is. And so seeing how someone, and mind you, I'm a little classist a little bit too, but seeing how someone engages or interacts with like my family or my greater family, or just when we talk about Black culture, or just when we talk about, and Miles and Lauren knows this, especially because we talked about a lot of this in my friend group. I do not, when people do not acknowledge that they had an anti-Black phase, I always look at them. Anti-Black is pervasive. We live in a white supremacist society.
Exactly.
Like, it's impossible.
It's not a question of, am I anti-Black or not?
When were you?
How, to what degree am I anti-Black?
Mm-hmm. And so I'm always thinking of that. And a big red flag for me is when people, oh no, I'm not, I've been black, I've been blah, blah, blah.
Child.
And so, to that point, what were the signs that Kenny had that we overlooked? We being Janae
Yeah.
overlooked. We being the group, the PPG girls. Like, I'm like, he's been around in the community with them, and that's terrifying to me. Being around someone who
Yeah.
like this it gets too sinister. Now, hey, you do it on the show. I ain't mad at you. You doing what you can to get to the end and get that money. Hell, even
Yeah.
doing it at the reunion. You had your fun, let the mouse go. You've been together
Yeah.
for a year and you see that
A
you're
year.
things. You need to be real and be like, hey, I love you, but there's something that's not clicking. And so that's
Yeah.
what I think is the most harmful part about it. Of like,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. And not only am I embarrassed,
Are you not embarrassed?
what Porsha said when she got in that fight, I have embarrassed myself.
Embarrassed.
Like, you had me looking a fool because I'm over here literally 2 weeks ago or last week doing a video with you about princess treatment. Talking about, yeah, we talked about this with your mom, and like, we're really clearly we're just dating. So thank goodness there wasn't like an engagement or proposal and things like that. Like, we're still getting to know one another, but we're so intertwined. Like, as I'm becoming more of a social,
And our brands are intertwined.
spaces. Thank you, thank you. And it gets to a point. Y'all are not actors. Y'all are not
Yeah.
like these high level people who y'all's publicists are saying, hey, this is what you're going to do to y'all are real people. And I think that that's where these like influencers and like this new era of like reality television personalities are like confusing it. Y'all are not, yes, you are putting on the show on these shows, but you are not paid to do like, you're
Yeah.
not you're not Brad and Angelina of like, girl,
You're not.
but we got these kids, people know us, this and that, we gotta think about how we
You're
and so-
reality stars.
your reality stars who, once again, a lot of people don't know y'all this bit. Like, they know PPG and they know Cordell. The boyfriends, they know y'all the boyfriends of the PPG girls.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, this is coming from someone who doesn't watch Love Island. And so that's what I get. I kept forgetting who Kenny was. I kept confusing Kenny and Leah's boyfriend. And I'm like, wait, didn't they say one of them wasn't they man? And I guess it was Janae. I wasn't really in the lore. It was Cordell and Serena is all I cared about. And then Serena.
Yeah.
Hell, I
And
thought Janae's
Serena-
name was Jana.
Huh?
I thought Janae's name was Jana because J and I never seen a Janae spelled like that. So like,
I ain't never seen it either. Me neither. And I think it also hurt too because of the way that, and this is how narcissism works. Of like, in public, the person is very like, is very charming, very sociable, and all those different things, and then close the doors, and it's like, well, who was he when the cameras were off? When it was just Janae and him. And what were some of the other things that Janae experienced? Because when Serena commented on that photo and was like, he's a narcissist and a racist, it's like, well, shit, fuck, And Kenny really, like, for the most part, there's some people that would claim they were never fooled, and I'm gonna give it to you, girls, but Kenny came off sweet.
Y'all can never be fooled.
He
That's
came
the
off
same
real
people who
sweet
said they
and
never
not
had
like in
COVID.
a EDO. You said what?
I said the bitches who said it was never fooled are the same bitches who said that they never had COVID. We'll let you have
Right.
it.
But you passing it anyway. And yeah, it was just like, it was shocking because it was like he came off very kind and very like sincere, and it honestly fits together because Janae would say that like, oh, we connected over God. And let me tell you something about men specifically, less so women, but men specifically that cling to the Lord. I am very cautious about them. I have to see what kind of relationship you have with God, because some men will do it as a mask, or to like be hyper religious because they know they have a past. And Kenny's past, per se, and the ex-girlfriend came out on TikTok and said it. She was like, he's a whore, a real whore, ran amok. Okay. And I thought I could reform him, and I did not. In the text messages that came out, where Kenny was basically saying, I can't wait to break up with her so I can have some bitches again. And I'm like, ooh. I said, oh, you're one of those men that like claim Jesus, but you only do so to like really pull girls, to be honest. And come off a certain way because your narcissism precludes you to do so. And I think that is the dangerous thing. And like you said earlier, it's the social experiment of it all. And we're still in that experiment, whether they're in the villa or not. And
Absolutely.
it's
The
seeing
brand
that
like it's
still
another
makes
layer.
me, yeah, it's seeing that makes me like, yeah, you really don't know, like some people sometimes, you know? And I really, and it still makes me think again, and I would love to have a little chat with Janae if I ever could in life, because like I have a rule that you don't really know someone until after like 3 months, and even then you're still getting to know people. Like I think 3 months is the span in which someone can really like keep a mask on, before it starts like slowly chipping away and you start seeing like the cracks. But a
You gotta see that
year,
habit. Mm-hmm.
there are some things that have come out, and honestly it's been funny because people, it's not funny actually, but it's funny, where she was like, what's my favorite fruit, and he was like, watermelon. And it was
Literally.
like, and she said no.
Literally. Literally. And
And
it's
I'm
like
like, that right there.
those little subtleties, it's like what's happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I'm the one to clock that. Like I'm like, 1, 2, 3, there's a pattern here, let's talk about this. You
And
done
we're
said that
southern,
way
and
too many
so
times.
we see it so much because of where we grew up. And like I think especially people like me who grew up in very racially segregated areas, like
Yeah.
I know how to read and people in the South in general, we know how to read dog whistles. We know how to read between the lines. We know how to when you're somebody
Yeah.
about someone and XYZ.
Sometimes
So
some
much of it's
people,
coded. Yes, but like I think that like we're so
like
common
you
because
for sure,
in the South that's all we do. You know what I
some
mean?
people,
Sometimes. Uh,
sometimes.
well, and fair, because there's some things that, can go over. But once again, a year, 365
Because it,
days
it, it really
plus.
depends on people's biases.
And you also see, too, in what I'm imagining, Miles, you see how people are on and off camera. And I think I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a
Yeah.
person who's very, like, sociable. Like, I think from my public perception, people still think of, like, who I used to be 10 years ago at UNT, bubbly, all
Mhm.
over the place. Let's do this, let's chat, let's talk. My friends, especially friends who've traveled with me, my roommate who lives with me, I power down. I don't do
Mhm.
all that. It was my
Power
birthday in
down and powers
Tulum.
up Sims.
We was in
That
my
you still true
in
to.
Tulum. Still true to girl. So I lock that door and be in my room and be do 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 in my own world, letting the girls have fun and they having a good time and a blast. I'm looking at me like, I like that.
Mhm.
But there's moments where I turn on, moments at work, moments like, if we're like, oh, let's take a picture, or oh, let's do a cute video, then I'll be like, oh, hey, and I'm going back to my room. And so
Yeah.
there have to be some turn on and turn off things that you saw that you maybe have attributed to XYZ. There was some, and I do think that we're going to get an interview within the next
There has to be
month or
something.
two.
She got to go
There's
back on
something in the
Kiki Palmer or
works
something.
because
Actually,
especially,
not Kiki, because she gonna say go back to him, but that's a
and on that
conversation for
note, but I
another day.
But I think like because one, if she don't get on it, he is, and we don't want him to
Mhm.
get the like Sandoval. I think, and mind you, I don't know much of that scandal, but Sandoval has been able to like sort of change his public perception from like he got a lot of flack, he got a lot of and like twisting into being a
Mhm.
villain and being on House of Villains and being on Traitors and things like that, and people be like, oh my gosh, like he's so this and that. No, these people are
Mhm.
scum, and let's remind them of that, and let's like hold them accountable, and like of course there's going to be people rallying for them. Let those people rally for them, and we don't rally where we at.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Exactly. So I feel really bad for her. And I think the last thing I'll say on Janae is that I know that she is a military brat, and so she is very like open, and she's very like receptive of like people that are different than her and all of that. And I empathize because I'm similar in a way, but I wasn't a military brat. But I also can
you do
see
give it down.
her
I was
being
about to say that.
someone. You said what?
You give military brat down. I was gonna say that.
Like could have been, but I think it's because my father moved around a lot because of football.
Hmm.
That like it could have low key gave that, but it wasn't worldwide or nothing like that. Like Janae, and that's probably why, like to a degree, I empathize with her, and I can see how she might be more accepting of anti-black behavior because she probably is used to it to some degree, until something as blatant as my N-word girlfriend shows up in your boyfriend's text messages, and he only wanted you for clout, and he's waiting to break up with you so he can be with other bitches and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I'm sure that hit like a truck.
Your injured
So,
son and your whole daughter. Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I send your prayers to Janae. I think that's really tough. I really do. And she's strong and she's gonna be fine. But all the same, I send prayers to her because I think that's some fucked up shit. And I don't wish that on people like Janae. Like,
At all. Well, when she came here looking for love and having a good time, and she's enjoying it with her friends, and like this is what you leave her
yeah.
with. But,
And she gonna find somebody. Hopefully, she's a beautiful girl.
She will find someone, and like it will be someone more of her caliber. Because now that she's here, she's going to like. There's more people who I'm sure she had access to that she just was out of respect for her man. But
hopefully, because that could be an illusion. But
she's gorgeous, though. You think?
I like this view. You hear people that say like that are like in the upper echelon or like celebrities or like in that kind of circle that like say dating isn't that much easier. If anything, it's more difficult because you're a little bit more choosy.
You are, but I think that there is a level of access that people do get depending on like the public eye that they're in. That like they like I think when you're around it, you're like I think about like people and like doctors and people in the medical field who are around each other, are constantly around that, and so like yeah, they're a little bit more they're a little bit more ever, but like you're getting people in your sphere who you're finding matches.
I get what you're saying. They're in like they're technically in the circle. Like she's made it into that circle.
Exactly, and she's and she's also a part of the moment now. Not like like Hood and not gonna find nobody good right now. At least I don't think so. But like,
I don't think so.
Like her brand is a little bit more elevated, and so people like
because the only men that are gonna want her are toxic men themselves.
Exactly, people who just trying to have a good time, and so yes, there are those. There's dogs everywhere. But anyway,
all the dogs.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait
to have having me
more and more in the future. For folks,
can't wait for the reunion.
Correct. For folks who have social media, follow us on our TikToks with our names here. Shout out to the people who either watch this live or are watching it now. Make sure you like, comment, and like subscribe. Yeah. Make sure you like subscribe with the notification buttons on, so whenever we do like some impromptu shows or whatever, you all can hey my baby. Whatever you are, or sorry, whenever we're doing this, you'll be able to know and be a part of the conversations with us. And so tell us what reality TV shows you're watching, tell us what TV shows you're watching in general, and happy to report them out in the future. Bye, my loves. Y'all have a blessed one.
Bye.
And then